A very warm welcome to everyone present here. Today, we're gonna look at what exactly science is. The word science comes from the Latin word which means knowledge, or the prescriptive practice being capable of resulting in prediction. Let us get into the characteristics of science. Science is the guide of natural laws. It has to be explained by referencing these natural laws. It is testable against the observable world and also falsifiable. Modern science in 20th century. The transistor was invented by Julius Edgar Lilienfeld in 1925. Leo Theremin, an inventor from Russia, developed a drum-based television system. The World Wide Web is a system of hypertext documents that are accessed over the internet. Xerography is a technique of photocopying the documents and visual images. Sir Alec Jeffreys reported the DNA profiling for the first time in 1985. A microprocessor is a silicon chip that contains the central processing unit of a computer, which was introduced in the year 1970. CD refers to an optical disc format that is used to store the digital data. Penicillin was discovered by Sir Alexander Fleming in 1982. Flip-flop. It is an electronic circuit that has two stable states. Computer mouse. It is a pointing device that detects the 2D motion in relation to a computer screen. The key elements of scientific method contains question, hypothesis, experiment, observation, and conclusion. Charles Robert Darwin transformed the way we understand the natural world with his ideas that were nothing but short of revolutionary. Darwin returned to England in 1836. He spent many years comparing and analyzing specimens before concluding that evolution occurs by a process of natural selection. The theory proposes that fittest organisms, those with the characteristics best suited for the environment, are more likely to survive and reproduce. Charles Darwin used the concept the tree of life in the context of theory of evolution to illustrate that all the species on earth are related and evolved from a common ancestor. Although Darwin's theory of evolution has been modified over time, it remains fundamental to the study of natural world. The Age of Enlightenment, the Age of Reason. What does the Age of Enlightenment say? Enlightenment is a change in outlook among many educated Europeans when they used observations and logics to understand the world instead of superstitions of the past. The early Enlightenment was contributed by Francis Bacon, Thomas Hobbes, Galileo Kepler, Leibniz, and Sir Isaac Newton. The important publications were Principia Mathematica by Newton and Essay Concerning Human Understanding by John Locke. Sir Isaac Newton was born in 1634, was an English mathematician, physicist, astronomer, theologian, and an author, who is widely recognized as one of the most influential scientists of all the time. John Locke was born in 1632. The idea he had was that both government and the people's right had a major impact on the Enlightenment. The High Enlightenment era. The important people were Voltaire, Rousseau, Montesquieu, Buffon, and Diderot. The important publications were Philosophical Dictionary, A Chaos of Clear Ideas, Letters of the English, and Encyclopedia. The Late Enlightenment and the Era of Revolutions and Development. The revolutions were French Revolution, Industrial Revolution, Romanticism, Liberalism, Classicism, and Modernism. The Industrial Revolution started in 1837. Society changed from rural, where most of them lived and worked on the land, to urban, where money was made from manufacturing and commerce. The Second Industrial Revolution. Its changes in industry were so great that the period after 1850 was called as the Second Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution in India. It started in the beginning of 19th century. Transport industry flourished, the most due mode of transport, such as ships and railways. Hypothesis is an assumption that is made on the basis of some evidence. This is the initial point of any investigation that translates the research questions into a prediction. It includes the components like variables, population, and the relation between the variables. Five-step procedure for testing a hypothesis. Step 1. State null and alternate hypothesis. Step 2. Select a level of significance. Step 3. Identify the test static. Step 4. Formulate the decision rule. Step 5. Take a sample and arrive at the decision. The history of mathematics. The roots of Indian mathematics are held within the Vedic literature. Vedic literature is nearly 4,000 years old. Indian mathematics was founded between the years of 1000 BC and 1000 AD. The religious text of Vedic times, like Yajurveda Samhita, shows evidences of the use of large numbers as high as 10 to the power 12. Mahavir spoke about the concepts of the infinite. This in turn led to the infinity as a mathematical concept and development in the other fields such as theory of indices, geometry, number theory, fractions, and simple algebra. Jain mathematicians like Bhadrabahu, Yativrisham, Acharya, and Umaswati also authorized texts on mathematics. Brahmi numerals, concept of zero, the place value system were invented or written by many brilliant mathematicians like Aryabhatta I, Brahmagupta, Sridhara, Mahavira, and Bhaskara II. Shakuntala Devi was an Indian child prodigy in mathematics. She gained a title as fastest human computer and has written many books to contribute in history of mathematics. The history related with the metallurgical science. The early findings of gold artifacts were found in the cemeteries in Bulgaria of Europe in 5th millennium BC. The The gold and the silver vessels were found in Mesopotamia of Europe in 2500 BC. The spectacular gold castings were found in ancient Pharaohic Egypt in 1300 BC. The early gold and silver ornaments were found from the Indus Valley sites of Mohenjo-daro in 3000 BC. The castings and the metal sheets were found from the medieval South America from 300 to 1600 AD. The deepest ancient gold mines in the world were found in Musky region of Raichur district. Granulation of gold in making jewelry was found in ancient Egypt, developed and used in ancient Egypt, then used extensively by ancient Greeks, later used in ancient India from late 1st millennium BC to early Christian era. And ancient silver producing sites were from Aravalli region of northwest India, then Lorraine of Greece, Roman mines of Rio Tinto, Spain. Rasaratnakara by scientist Nagarjuna describes the method of zinc production which was located at Aravalli region of Rajasthan. The zinc metal work on vessels was located at Hyderabad region made by Bidar Muslim rulers, was found from 14th century AD. The Ottoman Empire. The Ottomans succeeded in both sectors by promoting innovative technology in the field of iron and steel production. Chalcidice, a center of iron and silver production. Mining and smelting activity began to flourish in 1536 during the reign of Sultan Suleiman. The Mysore Palace, which was built by Vodayars, it was the first palace of India to use cast iron in their architectural construction. It was well established in South Indian megalithic cultures of this period. India has been reputed for its iron and steel since the Greek and Roman times. Woods is the version of Ukku in the languages of the states of Karnataka, a term which denotes steel. Steel from the southern part of Indian subcontinent was exported to Europe, China and Arab. Superplasticity is a remarkable phenomena which allows a material to change its external shape to a very great extent without any change from within. Mercury was reported in the period of Hellenistic Greece. There are evidence that mercury was used in later half of 1st millennium BC. In the 1980s, Chinese researchers found that the soil in the burial mound above the Qin Shi Huang's tomb contains mercury concentrations. The map denoting the places of Hellenistic Greece, Indian treaties and ancient China. Mercuric sulfide powder is used as the red bindi on forehead as a ritual of Hinduism. Cinnabar powder is used to preserve silk in tombs. Mercury was used in alchemical transmutation experiments. In pre-dynastic Egypt, lead and sulfide were used in manufacturing of coal or eyeliner, which was an Egyptian art. Stone pallets for grinding coal and artifacts of lead were found. Lead was alloyed with copper and bronze for making castings. Aravalli regions of Rajasthan in India is one of the most lead ore rich mining regions in antiquity. Copper metal is thought to have been the first metal used by the man and may have used in ancient Turkey and Mesopotamia by about the 7th millennium BC. The early copper artifacts of about the 6th millennium BC were also reported from the pre-Indus Valley sites of Baluchistan in the northwestern part of the Indian subcontinent, which were close to the Iranian border. The tin ore was alloyed with the copper to get harder bronze for making weapons, prior to the use of iron in the Bronze Age cultures of the world. Tin mines are known from the ancient Turkey dating to the 3rd millennium BC. The Greek bronze figures of the 1st millennium BC are very well known. South Indian bronzes were costly solid cast, whereas images from the Southeast Asia are mostly hollow cast. The statue of a dancing girl from Mohenjo-daro of Indus Valley is the earliest bronze castings in the world, which is very well executed. The history of medicine in India. An alternative medical practice whose evidences were found in Atharva Veda and the later work of Atreya in his Atreya Samhita is known as Ayurveda. Siddha is the medical practice which has got its coexistence with Ayurveda, was originated from ancient Tamil Nadu of South India. The Unani system of medicine was introduced by the Muslim rulers in 13th century and practiced by Hakims. Homeopathy is a system of medicine propounded by Samuel Christian Hahnemann, gained a lot of critics and followers with no side effects. Allopathy is the modern type of medicine introduced by the Portuguese Albuquerque in 1510, which was considered to be more effective and mostly useful nowadays. An interdependency of science and technology. Science is the study of natural world by collecting data through a systematic process called the scientific method, and technology is where we apply science to create devices. It is literally the application of science, so it's really impossible to separate the two. What's the relationship between the science and technology? Science contributes to technology in at least 6 ways. New knowledge which serves as the direct source of idea for the new technological possibilities. The source of tools and techniques for more efficiency. Research instrumentation and laboratory techniques. The practice of research as a source of development and assimilation of new human skills and capabilities. Creation of the knowledge base for the assessment of technology. The knowledge base that enables more efficient strategies applied for research and development. Some interesting examples are laser barcode scanner and the technology that brought science in advance, like telescope and microscope. The molecular basis of a disease. The molecular basis of disease refers to the stage in which there is an abnormality or deficiency in particular molecule. In these kind of diseases, there are alterations usually of proteins. Proteins could be either abnormal or in reduced amounts. The image showing the sickle cell anemia.